Hi, Charity. Welcome to our series on Beyond the Gates. And let's go.
Hello, Charity, Natasha, Kerubo, Mesire. Yeah, I have four names. Last one in a family of five. And I'm going to talk about my boarding school experience. And for me, I think I was kind of excited to join boarding school because my older siblings were already there, and I remember I used to see them come home closing day with snacks. They used to buy us stuff. They used to have money. Me, I said I also want to join boarding school so I can also have money when I'm coming back from school. I'll buy stuff. I mean, that was the only version of my boarding school in my head. Hiya. I remember I even had long hair. I had to cut my hair. Hivi, unaona kipara? I looked like here, like here, like my first day. First day in boarding school. Like I said, I was so excited. Shock on me. I remember I just entered those gates, and you see the way people talk about aura, the aura that slapped on my face. I was like, no, me, I don't want to do this again. I remember it was lunchtime, and then I saw people, they had gone for lunch, and looking at the food, and it was just like pure beans and pure beans and maize with lots of soup and wanazitangaje. Was it? I don't want to call them termites, but the black ones that look like termites, they were just floating on the plate. I was like, oh my god. And then, so when I joined, my sister Camila told me, you see, when you don't eat beans in Githeri, you're usually given special food. So like you just go write your name. You say you have issues with your second day, you're waking up at 4, I don't know, 5. It's cold, you guys have to shower cold water. And then people are just running because you have to meet time deadlines for you to go to class. There are also teachers on patrol. So if you're late, you're being beaten. You imagine being beaten at 4 a.m. in the morning with that cold. So days go by. Still, I'm not adapting. But the good thing is, I had my older sibling. So she's the one who'd like at least used to, orient me, teach me how to survive. And I remember whenever we'd feel homesick, we'd go to her dormitory, we'd sit there, remember home, remember our siblings, remember the food we used to eat, we cry, and then we say it's enough, we have to go to class.
Let's talk about the transition from being at home, fully the presence of mom and dad, and now moving to boarding school where it's just you and other pupils.
It was a really bad experience trying to all that transition because I felt like we're so young to understand or be prepared for that major transition that I actually faced. Me being around my parents all the time, especially my mom, and then like going to boarding school, no parents there, no okay, as much as I had my sibling, it wasn't just enough. So it was a tough experience for me, I'd say so, because now, although I met a new family of friends who I built over time, they tried to make life better as much as like it was bad. They just tried to make life better. It was a whole bad experience, I'd say.
Yeah, do you feel like during that period, because I understand being you're 8 years old and now you've moved from the cushion of your parents or your primary caregiver, who is mostly the mom, and now this is you navigating your life by yourself and trying to figure things out. Do you feel like it made you grow up so fast, or But how did that, what did that do to your being, to your self-esteem, to your, just to your general well-being?
I felt like my growth was ambushed, because there's that there's that the parental presence that you need in your life growing up as a kid. We didn't get that, because I feel like there's even a time when I'm so grown, I still feel like my parents don't really know me for who I am, because my whole life I was away for them. We could just because even the breaks we had from school, we used to have like 2 weeks breaks. We are in school the whole semester, and then we go home for 2 weeks. Again, we have to go for tuition, and then now we officially open. We were rarely at home. We never got to experience that growing up by your parents beside you.
How did the separation from your primary caregiver at that early age affect your emotional well-being and and even your social well-being?
Being separated from my parents at such a young age, and going to a different environment where I solely had to depend on myself, and it affected my emotional being in a way that when things happen at school, maybe I'm being beaten or someone wronged me, or it's something that has really affected me, you'd definitely want to go cry to your parents or talk to your parents so they can guide you, solve the problem or something like that. Because even reporting such issues to your teachers were not helping at all, or sometimes you just fear reporting to them. So the fact that I had to bottle up my issues and solve them by myself, it affected me up to the maybe up to it affected my growing up. It made me solely depend on myself, and I feel like it reached a point where I had a problem opening up, because I just learned how to solve my issues or just keep them to myself. So it really affected how I approach issues and myself opening up in whichever case. I just had a progressive problem of opening up and being free with my parents, with my siblings too at some point.
Let's talk about your worst experience as a boarder in class 4.
My worst experience.
You can give us like 3 maybe.
My worst experience. The major one I'd say was me being bullied at class 4. Because you remember that story, that part I had said my sister told me to change my diet, so because the diet was nice. So I remember I used to, wherever people are being served githeri, me I'd be served ugali or nini matoke or whatever the teachers were eating, or sometimes that they used to cook a different meal. So I had this circle of friends, 6 to 7 girls. When at lunch, because I used to serve a different meal, so so after I've had my meal of ugali and they have been served githeri, so they used to make me sit with them, and then there were a group of 6 to 7 girls, and then everyone would pick the amount from my plates, because my food is different. So I'm left with just a handful of just little food in my plate. Of course, that's little food. I wasn't satisfied with it. So I remember, because my sister used to serve late, because it was class 4s, 8, 7, 6, and 5. My sister was 5 at the moment. So I used to wait for her to serve. She used to sit next to the window. So I used to wait. When she served and she's in class, I used to go walk through her window and ask her, I'm not satisfied. Can you please give me a portion of your food? And she used to get angry. And I know I understand her, because, I don't know what was happening with our stomachs. Whichever amount of food we were served, we never used to get satisfied. And now I'm there trying to asking for her food, and she used to ask like, "See, you've already eaten your share. Why are you asking me for my share?" And I couldn't tell her the truth because I was scared, because she would go to confront them, and now they'll cut me off. And now, because it was a group of bullies, so it reached a point I said I can't anymore. Now I had to tell her. Her whole class, her circle of friends from my class, marched to my class, confronted those girls, and whatever I feared would happen, it actually happened. So I was cut off. I remember the ringleader. She came, pulled me from my desk, put me down, and the whole class laughed at me. I remember it was my food. That was not fair. And I was only 8 years old. I remember I used to cry to my parents. I used to write them letters, how I hate that school. I want to move out of that school. I remember they used to lie to me, but that's another torture they used to lie to me. Don't worry, just go. Just go this term. When you're done, you'll move out of that school. And me, I was the CEO of telling people I'm not coming back next time. And then guess what? Next time I'm coming. Another excuse. I told them, my parents say now they can't accept new students in other schools, so I have to wait until next semester. The cycle never changed. I lied. I know by now people know I was the CEO. I'm going to transfer next time, but it never happened. Okay, it almost happened when I was in class 7, because I remember I even went home with my box. My mom, because my sister, the one I was depending on in class 8, had already finished class 8. So I said, I can't come alone and stay alone here. So my parents were okay with it. I carried my box, went home. Hey, shook on me. Class 8, back to school with my box. Even after people had signed autographs for me, they left their numbers, hugged me. Hey, shame. Shame.
Why did you go back?
They said, let me just go finish. It's a nice school. I don't know whatever they told me. I don't know if
I think they discussed. No, one of the teachers convinced them to actually take you back. I can't remember the story. Was it the head teacher? One of the teachers really talked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, had a talk with mom and convinced her to let you go back. Is there any benefit of? Did you pick any? Lesson or key lesson or any key advantage of joining boarding school at an early age?
I won't say I picked like a fulfilling impact on my life for me joining boarding school at an early age, because the way I was so conditioned to be under someone's watch. The bells, teacher reminding every time, someone following up your work every time. I was just conditioned in a certain way, like a dog. You ring a bell, I'm daring to eat. Now, because I feel like it affected me transitioning to high school, because for me, high school, it was a different environment for me. No one following up with me. No one constantly checking how I'm progressing. Like, I felt like now I can breathe in high school. And that was, I think, a bad thing for me, because I over-relaxed too much in high school, because there was no one constantly following up, because I felt like I was so conditioned in someone behind my back. And when I didn't get that, I loosened up, and it wasn't a good thing.
Party hot.
Chai, don't try this at home. Boarding school. But honestly, if I'd go back to time, I'd have been... This is something I'd never... if I had gone back to time, this is a journey I wouldn't have wanted to partake in. I would have done anything in my power not to step to that boarding school from day one. As much as it taught me how to perform, it made me perform, yes, but I felt like performing alone, I could have just gotten that from a different school. Yeah. Wasn't a wholesome experience, but we learn, we live.